Universal continues to step on the gas with new theme parks coming around the world. Hello everybody, welcome. Universal just released new details and concept art for the Universal Kids Resort coming to Frisco, Texas, and it is shaping up to be absolutely incredible. Universal continues to add more and more into their theme parks, and Universal Kids Resort is officially underway. They are not only looking to elevate their brand, elevate Universal, but they are also looking to be #1 in the theme park industry across the world. They are aggressively expanding their theme parks division. Mark Woodbury has come out on record and said, "We want people to think of us first when it comes to theme parks." And this means capturing a large share of the kids market. Children are the future, and this is a big part of capturing teens and adults. When you're able to get younger children involved and engaged in your brand, you can start to build brand loyalty over time. As they turn into teens and adults, they stay loyal to your brand. So finding ways to get kids into your brand is extremely important when it comes to theme parks. This is something that Disney does absolutely spectacularly. Disney has amazing movies, IPs, things that kids fall in love with. They visit places like Walt Disney World, and then when they get older, they bring their kids, and so on and so forth. So having something that is exciting and very interesting for kids is a big piece of building that loyalty over time. This is what Universal is aiming to do with Universal Kids Resort. And this brand new resort is expected to open sometime in 2026, and it is going to be located in Frisco, Texas. There are other younger kids and family-friendly theme parks in that area, which is why it makes a lot of sense for them to put Universal Kids Resort there, because that area is already drawing a lot of younger kids with their families into that area, and so Universal will be able to capitalize on that and start to get some of that brand engagement for them. This Universal Kids Resort is expected to be around 97 acres in totality. The theme park itself around 37 acres, which will be about 32 acres with 5 additional acres for expansions. So this is a pretty decent sized kids resort. It is not small, but it's also not huge. In comparison, Epic Universe, the entire area that they have for Epic Universe and some of the hotels and space around there is about 750 acres. All of Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay, all their hotels over there is about 700 acres. So those are very large footprints for those theme parks here in Orlando. So in comparison, 97 acres is quite a bit smaller, but the theme park itself takes up a big portion of those. Then you have the parking structures, then you have the Universal Kids Resort Hotel that will be on property as well. So it is a decent sized theme park and resort. From a price perspective, Epic Universe costs about $7 billion to make, whereas the Universal Kids Resort is only going to be about $152 million to make, which is a very smart investment. Again, build something that kids and families can get really excited about, but don't break the bank doing so. Now, the original artwork that we received around the Universal Kids Resort had kind of a layout of the theme park and the hotel, but it didn't give any details as far as what was there. So we did a lot of speculating. I created a sort of a spec map of what the different themed areas were going to be, and I am happy to say I was absolutely on the money. We got every single land predicted correctly, and then eventually Universal came out and confirmed what those themed lands were going to be. But we didn't have the official names, and we didn't have really any of the attractions. Now, as of today, we actually have brand new concept art and all of the official names of each of the lands and some of the attractions that are be going there. So like many of the other Universal theme parks, right when you enter in, there's going to be sort of this central hub that is going to be the entryway. Think kind of like Islands of Adventure. You have that sort of entry area with all the shopping and things. This will be referred to as the Isle of Curiosity, featuring Gabby's Dollhouse. This is going to be sort of a whimsical location that's going to have lots of play areas, lots of space, some greenery. There's going to be Gabby's Dollhouse interaction and a meet and greet with Gabby herself. Some sort of interesting dance party that's going to be going on there. So just kind of a nice little relaxing area, a little entry gateway for you to get you rolling, but no real big attractions in this area. Next up, we have DreamWorks Shrek's Swamp. And this will feel somewhat familiar. It will be a little bit like the DreamWorks area that is over there at Universal Studios. You're going to have a Shrek meet and greet, kind of a swampy look and feel to this area. It's going to be a very fun and wet area, so there'll be like splash pads and things to play with. There'll be some sort of swampy-like shack, similar to the shack that exists at Universal Studios in DreamWorks Land. This is where you're going to get a chance to meet Shrek and Fiona, and even be able to interact with and sit in the Onion carriage from the films. Now, they are reporting that there will be 2 separate interactive play areas in this land. First is Shrek's Swamp Rompin' Stomp. Then there's Shrek's Swamp Splash and Smash. So it's going to have lots of like interaction between these play areas. There's going to be a lot of stomping and a lot of splashing. So definitely going to be a very wet area, very reminiscent of a swamp, as you can expect. Next, we have DreamWorks Puss in Boots Del Mar. This, once again, will be an area where you can have lots of meet and greets. You get to interact with a lot of the characters that you're familiar with from DreamWorks. Obviously, Puss in Boots himself, Mama Luna and Perito, some of the friends of Puss in Boots. There will be lots of challenging carnival games in this area. Barriles de Leche and El Gato's Meow. And from what we can tell, there is sort of a carnival type ride there. One of the ones where it's sort of like you're in these seats and you're spinning around like a high flying adventure. So it feels very much like this is going to be a carnival type atmosphere set in the world of Puss in Boots. I'm kind of getting vibes of like the Dino Land area that was at Animal Kingdom. It's interesting that Animal Kingdom is removing the Dino Land and all the carnival games and some of those things. And then now here we are, Universal is creating a land specifically around that sort of carnival type atmosphere. The next area is all about the Minions. Illumination's Minions versus Minions. Bello Bay Club. They just are loving the Minions brand. They're leaning into it. We've seen a lot of things added from to Universal Studios. I think it's going to be great to have another Minions area specifically for kids. Apparently, this is going to be a battle between the yellow Minions and their purple Minion counterparts. Not really sure how this is going to work. It looks like there is some sort of like spinning like raft ride, kind of like a Popeye's bilge barges, but it looks like there's some sort of competition that you can either participate in or just opt out of. And I don't know if there's competition happening in the raft ride itself, if there's some sort of interactive thing going on there, or buttons you have to push, if there's some sort of shooting element to it. I'm not 100% sure, or if the competition just refers to the land broadly. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, there will once again be more meet and greets in this land. You get to meet and greet with Minions, and there are also some interactive play areas in this space, which I assume is where we're going to get more of the unfolding of the competition itself. Moving into the next land, we have another Jurassic Park area. This is Jurassic World Adventure Camp, and it sounds and looks amazing. And I am assuming this is going to be very similar to Camp Jurassic over there at Islands of Adventure, but also a combination of that and some of the interactive play elements, the baby dinosaurs hatching that exists within the sort of building that's in front of the Velocicoaster attraction. If you go down into the basement there's dinosaur figures, there's hatching dinosaurs, there's interactive kiosks you can play with. And so it's a combination of these interactive elements and this sort of like high flying, high climbing adventure playground area like at Camp Jurassic. There are a couple of interesting things you can see in this concept art. You can see the playground area and the netting and things where you can climb up, get a good view of the park. But there's also sort of this like carnival looking type ride attraction. Almost these like little buckets with umbrellas above them where maybe you just sit them in, they kind of go up in the air, maybe it rotates around or does some sort of spinning action. And then there's also a roller coaster. Now I was thinking, it mentions about Pteranodon flying, like being able to fly up in the sky from getting a Pteranodon's view of the park. I was thinking maybe it's going to be like Pteranodon Flyers, but it definitely looks like a standard type roller coaster. It doesn't look like a hanging coaster at all. I see blue and white on it, which tells me that it's Jurassic World themed versus Jurassic Park. And then over on the left side of the concept art, you can also see sort of like a miniature drop tower type attraction. So there's 4 different things in this particular playground area shown. That's a lot. I feel like that's a lot of cool little things happening in that area. There's also a baby dinosaur meet and greet, like a velociraptor. You can see sort of like the little puppet there with the guy, the trainer, holding the velociraptor, like a little experience there, meet and greet, which I think looks really cool. So it very much, just based on the concept art, looks like the Jurassic World area might be sort of their anchor pad for the park. It seems like it has the most things in it, at least from what we can see right now. The next area is the DreamWorks TrollsFest. Now, if you know anything about trolls, you know this is going to be a hoppin' party. It's all about the music, pumping up, getting excited, dancing around, jumping up and down. This is going to be the liveliest party in the Troll Kingdom. You'll be able to meet Poppy and Branch and all the other trolls. There will also be 2 interactive play areas in this land. One is Poppy's Playland, and the other is Troll's Critter Crawl, which sounds really interesting. Now, we can see 3 things in this concept art. One of them is sort of this like balloon-looking carousel thing that's going on, where you get in a balloon, you go up high, and maybe it spins around. Another one is the interactive splash pad or playground area. I can't tell if there's water there or not, but it looks like some sort of playground. And then there's another small roller coaster. Don't really have any details on the roller coaster yet, but it looks like a lot of fun. Again, a standard type roller coaster. It's not a hanging coaster, but it looks pretty good. And then the area that I'm the most excited about is Nickelodeon SpongeBob SquarePants Bikini Bottom. I just love SpongeBob. I think he's awesome. He's hilarious. One of the few cartoons that I feel like my kids could watch that I could also watch with them and have a good time and enjoy it and laugh. And the Bikini Bottom stuff that they had over at Universal Studios, I've always wanted to see more SpongeBob there. They used to have SpongeBob as part of the Jimmy Neutron sort of experience there before it became the Despicable Me. Of course, you're going to have a meet and greet with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. Unfortunately, not a lot of information about this land other than being themed really well, getting to see some iconic locations from Bikini Bottom. It even mentions Muscle Beach, and of course, there will be a very wet area, a splash pad area, interactive playground, which sounds like awesome. I mean, you have to imagine, obviously, SpongeBob SquarePants, it's all about the water, you're going to get wet. So it sounds really cool. Now, those are all the lands that have been formally announced. Now, there is also a kids resort as part of this, a actual hotel that is attached and looks into the park. You can see that very clearly there in the Gabby's Dollhouse sort of entryway area, Isle of Curiosities. It mentions that this hotel is 300 rooms, and it also serves as the entrance into the kids resort. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. I am a fan of having the hotels attached to theme parks. I feel like places that have done that, those hotels have done very well. It's very convenient. You don't have to take a bus somewhere. You don't have to get on a monorail. You don't have to walk a long distance. You can literally you can see the park from your room usually, and you can just sort of walk out and get in there before anybody else. So I think this is a really good idea, having a on-property resort. It looks really cute. It's got very colorful. I think it will blend in very well with the overall theme park itself. So all this new information is just, I think, really getting us excited. All the new concept art that's come out, everything we can see. Seems like there's a lot of things happening. Unfortunately, we don't have all of the details yet for the attractions. I think some of the lands that we went through that don't showcase some of the attractions just aren't visible yet, but there will be more to them than what is described or what is even shown in the concept art. Probably some more roller coasters potentially. So we'll have to wait and see. More information will be coming. But overall, I think this is great. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. We're going to have to definitely take a trip over there to Frisco to check this out when it first opens. Would love to hear what you think about this resort in the comments. What are you most excited about? Do you think this is a good move on Universal's part, bringing this to their theme park divisions? We'll see how it all plays out. So once again, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for watching this content. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and of course comment below. Until I see you next time, the noble way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.